Hey, there's the Heir of Carthage bringing you another Rome Total War online commentary battle. You can see that I'm again playing as the Julii Romans. There goes my general with his Praetorian cohort. That's what the Praetorians did. They would guard the VIP, or the Emperor. And so I'm playing as the Romans again because I'm trying to develop some Roman strategies that don't involve Urban Cohorts. And so I'm playing at 10k as well again because it makes each unit a little more playable. Plus it kind of makes the game different in a lot of ways, so it's not the same old going on. I have a Legionary first cohort and 2 Legionary cohorts on the front line. I have a Praetorian cohort and an additional reserve Legionary cohort in the second line. I have 2 units of Auxilia, again screening for my cavalry, and I have 2 units of Legionary cavalry. Now Legionary cavalry was found sometimes, as I've said before, in ancient Rome. Wasn't all that common. But in this battle I'm supposed to be playing more as, say, an army that might have been used by the Emperor Trajan, which would have been around 100 AD, more in the height of the Empire when they started using the segmented armor and some other technologies. So I brought a little bit better cavalry to represent the later time period. I don't know that they necessarily really had better cavalry, but oh well. So my Archer Auxilia are opening fire on my Macedonian opponent, and what's funny is that I brought an army of Trajan, yet by the time of Trajan, Macedonians were no longer an independent state, and hadn't been for quite some time. So, my opponent has 6 units of archers, so he's going to easily outgun me. He has 5 units of royal pikemen, but they do not have upgrades. But I don't have very many upgrades in my men either. And then in the back, he's got 3 units of companion cavalry, one of them harboring his general. They also have no upgrades. My opponent has, as you can see, wasted all of his upgrade money on archers, and his archers are pretty much fully upgraded. So he's going to easily outgun me, as I said, but I actually caused quite a bit of damage to him considering how few missile troops I have. I've got my Archer Auxilia. They fired on him before he came into range, so I caused some damage there. He's lost over 100 archers for sure, but out of 6 units, he's still got plenty more to spare. So I'm going to make a harassing move with my cavalry here. Now remember, once again, the reason why I'm playing with no Urban Cohorts and a 10k is because I'm trying to play Rome as they might be in real life, where the general would actually have to maneuver and think to win a battle. Because unlike when you use Urban Cohorts and Praetorian Cavalry, that you can just steamroller any other army on the game. And it wasn't necessarily like that in real life for the Romans. So here I come close to another attack, but he moves his cavalry to intercept me, so I run out. I take a few losses to his archers on the way out. If I were him, I would have been firing at my cavalry the whole time. But thank goodness he didn't, because I only got 2 units. Yeah, I take a few losses right there, about 4 or 5. And but what I've done is I've wasted time him firing at my horses, and I've been able to kill more of his archers. And remember, this is where he spent a large portion of his money on these fully upgraded archers. And as you can see, he's taken quite a few casualties, but he's got quite a few men alive. Now, my opponent's making a mistake here. If you'll notice, he's not really volleying out the full number of arrows that he could be, because his archers are too bunched together. Now, they're getting most of their arrows out, but he could probably get a few more out if they weren't so bunched together. And let's take a look at his strategy here. It looks like he's got his line set up for anti-flanking movements. He's got the thickest part of his units here in the center to make his center strong, and I think he's just hoping to break my center and keep me from flanking. Oh, he does have some upgrades on that royal pikeman right there. So anyway, I'm going to move up to silence his archers. I no longer have enough archers left to cause any significant damage, so the missile duel for me is effectively over. So I'm going to move my infantry line up. I'm going to spread them into one line so as to be able to use all of my pilla. It kind of moved my Legionary first cohort and the general to the center of the line, which will be good because that's where he's strongest with his infantry. So that was just a circumstance that worked out to my favor. Now let's watch the Pilla Storm here. Here it comes. Here's the Romans chucking their Pilla. And these things were very effective. By the time of the peak of the Empire, the Pilla had been redesigned. Of course, that was way back in the time of Gaius Marius, but anyway, the Pilla could break, this point could go through a shield and then ruin the shield so that the enemy would have to fight without it. In any case, I've caught his cavalry with my Auxilia. The companions have such a good charge that they've nearly decimated my Auxilia before my Roman cavalry could come to flank, but fortunately, the Roman cavalry made it in time and saved the day. And here they're routing these tough companions. in real life, the Romans would have had a really hard time taking on companion cavalry. And here, his companions would have beaten me had I not taken the brunt of that charge with my auxilia.
His men know their doom approaches.
So, as you can see, I'm not really doing a whole lot of damage to his front line. He's got me pretty well fixed. But now I'm going to come in here and get rid of all of his ill-spent money on these archers. I'm going to help throw that down the tube for him. My cavalry are going to be able to easily take out his archers, and here he moves a unit of royal pikemen to chase my cavalry out. But you can see that they're shaken because now their flanks are exposed and they're surrounded by my infantry. And so that's not good, his troops getting shaken like that, because the last thing he wants is a chain rout. Now his archers are all gone, and now I can hammer and anvil his troops. And I'm going to hit him right in the center to try and break his center. So here it comes. Where's the wind up? And whack. There's a pikeman flying. So that routs his center, and that's just too much for the others to take. It causes a chain rout when they see that their flanks are now exposed. They're surrounded by infantry and cavalry, and now it becomes a Macedonian massacre. So my strategy worked out here. So everything went well for me. My opponent's strategy, where he went wrong, was he threw his cavalry into my auxilia spearmen, which was a mistake. He should have maneuvered around and fired his archers into my cavalry, and he could have easily killed my cavalry. And had he had cavalry supremacy, it would have been pretty easy for him to take me out, because you could see that my infantry wasn't causing a great deal of damage to his at the first. But in any case, good game to my opponent Benja. He's a good sport, and I appreciated playing him. Hope you like my Trajan army here. I deployed 960 men, had 929 kills, and 543 men remaining. Benja deployed 1,248 men, had 490 kills, and 282 men remaining.